Welcome everyone, Pine Grove News Live. Shut off the echo. Hope everyone's doing okay today. It's Friday. At least it's Friday, right? Thank God. It's been a rough couple days. But anyway, had a few downpours here around the time I got off from work. You know, kind of like you've heard of a microburst, right? Where the rain just comes down so darn hard you could barely see in front of you. Even with the wipers on full blast, you could barely see. Then, include, for the next 3 miles, roads just inundated with all this water. And literally, I mean, I was just going 35 miles an hour. And when you hit a couple of these spots, your car it was almost like, putting on the brakes. Automatically slowed you down. Water, just imagine the water shooting off both directions. And another car coming in another direction, and they're shooting water off in their directions, and then it lands on your windshield, and you cannot see for at least 3 seconds. Long time. When your car is still moving, and you're hoping you're heading in the right direction. Yeah, but that's New England. We have microbursts, but is that and the lightning, striking all around you. It was a pretty good storm. Didn't last for that long. I mean, we had rain on and off all day, but yeah, they finally called for these thunderstorms, and we finally got it for about the time it took me to get home. Because about the time, I believe I was about a quarter of a mile away from my house, and everything just got a little brighter. And it was just literally, it was like, if you understand, if you could drive through an ocean, or, you know what I mean? I mean, not literally. Anyways, water everywhere, man. Just felt like you were in water, and driving. Well, can't really imagine. I mean, I could start to all these other places that are getting all these floods. I mean, everyone, the whole world, inundated with floods. I do believe the Lord is trying to wake us all up. Yeah, trying to remind us that He could, if He willed, like He did with the first flood. And yes, the flood that killed mankind, except for Moses and 7 others, because he was perfect in his generation, meaning he hadn't been genetically, altered or manipulated by the rest of the people living around him. So, anyways, it is the 26th of April already. Going to be May, next week. I had a story. I was going to talk about that May Day thing that Canada has, May 1st. I was hoping a brother Andrew, who might be stopping by, would again explain about May Day. What exactly that means. It's not a Christian holiday, that's for sure. Kind of like our Memorial Day, but that's what I heard him explain to me a year or so ago. But anyway, let's get on. We got quite a few stories here, and some I'm just going to fly through. I'll leave you the links like I always do. I want to make sure that I am live on YouTube. I am. All right, just want to make sure that works. And if anybody's coming for the first time, I cannot at the moment comment on the YouTube channel because it is on my PC. I can't use both of them at the same time at the moment. I am recording from my laptop, but I can see the feed on the PC. And because they had eliminated my 2 accounts, some people remember that, 12 Pine accounts, I can't go on there, whether under that name or another name. Can't comment. So that's what I reserve Mixler for. If people want to come comment, they can come to Mixler. You can go in there and chat while you're watching the YouTube. I do that. In any case, let's go on. Let's go on. A couple of these things, happened within the last, excuse me, within the last day or so. Because, like I said, I'm only on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So, I'm trying to get some of the news that happened in between that time. This from Strange Sounds. Deadly floods, again, floods and landslides hit South Africa. That happened on the 24th. That was posted on the 24th anyway. 9 inches of rain, and here we go again, that 24-hour period. But it's either 24 hours or it's 24 inches or whatever, just everything is just abnormal. Not normal. The death toll reaches 60, and that time, heavy rain is forecasted. Eastern Cape provinces, flood and mudslides. South African city of Durban. I don't know how to pronounce the other ones. This from the Watchers. Deadly EF3 tornado hits Ruston, rips through Louisiana Tech University campus in Louisiana. That was yesterday. So, let's see. Yeah, some still shots and videos. Ruston Mayor Ronnie Walker confirmed the 2 fatalities, but declined to identify them. It's bad, real bad, said Walker. We took a direct hit. Much of the damage occurred along the Tech Drive and Cypress Springs subdivision south of Interstate 20. Walker said there was damage throughout the city. One of these stories we did the last time, I believe it was Wednesday, but this is kind of an update. It's something I wanted to lead into speaking about. That is our food chain around the whole world. Iran's facing the worst locust outbreak in 40 years. And there just seems to be, what do you want to call it? An apocalyptic horde of locusts in and around the Middle East. Yep. Threatening crops. Okay, well, this is what I wanted you to hear. Threatening crops and food security in large areas of coastal province of Monsanto, Iran. Strange sounds, just reverberating what I just told you. A biblical invasion threatens crops and food security. I want to put this one out here too, because more crop loss. This is from the Watchers. Massive crop loss as heavy, unseasonable rain and hailstorms hits Telangana, India. Now, just in these 2 stories, we've been talking about this for at least, a week or 2 now. Ever since the mid-America was flooded. And I believe farmers are still talking about not being able to get a crop out this year. We're going into or being set into a food crisis. I don't know, I can go in so many different directions with this, but in my opinion, we are definitely being attacked. Our food supplies are being attacked, destroyed, mainly for, our governments because they do know how to manipulate the weather. They can geoengineer storms. You know those hurricanes we've had last year? Texas, Louisiana, Florida. All those storms could have been just blown away. We have the ability, and we've had since the government, had that HARP program up in Alaska. We have the ability to direct plasma balls into the atmosphere and come back down, bounce off the atmosphere, and blow apart these storms with this excessive heat. Just dry it all up. You think they would do that, but no, that's not their agenda, is it? It's not. They have an agenda, and you know what they call it. This is going to make us reliant on the government. The government's going to come in to rescue you, and yeah. And if you want help from the government, you're going to have to get chipped and or come to the nearest FEMA camp, Walmart near you, and you'll be taken care of. And you'll probably be locked up and undergo some kind of re-education. That's part of my opinion on that matter anyway. They are purposely, whether it's each country, and I don't really believe that, but it is a possibility. I believe that all the leaders, all the powers that be are in on this all together. They are in on these wars that we have all together. Okay? You all thought that, that the Nazi party lost the war, didn't you? Apparently they didn't. In any case, we only know what they tell us on our TVs and our radios. Can't be lying, right? They're telling us the truth. They got to tell us the truth, right? No, they don't. You know who runs this whole system, here on this earth at the moment? And he knows he has a short time. And if it was up to him, he would kill each and every one of us. You should know this. And if you don't believe in heaven or hell or Jesus or Satan, you really need some re-education. Yeah. Because they do exist, and this is what's going on in this world. It is it's one side fighting against, the evil side trying to fight against the good side. That's why everything nowadays, is turned upside down. It's why everything good is considered evil, and everything that's evil coming out is considered good. Yeah, and we'll get to that article too about the Satanistic church that they got out there now. Yeah, that's all good. That's good. Take away the Bibles. You can't have Bible classes in school. You can't have nativity scene out there at Christmas time. No, you can't do that, but Satanists can put out their little pentagrams and such and bulletin boards and their little library classes for the LGBTQ, act there. Why arrest all the people in the sex trafficking trade and and all this slavery? Why bother arresting them? Just going to make everything be legal anyway. That's where we're going. All this transgender and name your gender, whenever you feel like it. They got this little box that they're putting on a lot of birth certificates. But is the kid going to freaking be able to do that? No, the parents are going to do that. The parents are the ones that are at fault. They're the ones that these kids listen to and look to. You are their heroes. You are their salvation. Even though that may not be true. You are to them until he learns or she learns about Christ. Yeah, it's he or she. That's it. That's all it is until somebody, blatantly comes out and tries to twist somebody's mind. That's why they have this YouTube, this boob tube, this idiot box, this predictive programming. Yeah, sorry about that. Let's move on. Strange sounds. 5G Wi-Fi. Global health catastrophe in the making. Lloyd's of London, one of the world's premier insurance groups, is refusing to insure health claims made against 5G wireless. Others are following. Yeah, so once they, because this is already happening. I mean, 12, we talked about this, I believe it was in the last video. Another 12 in a school, I guess, teachers and children. All 12 of them have cancer now. They removed that pole, that tower. Okay? And this is going to happen on a massive scale, people. And there's not going to be any help except Jesus Christ, your Savior. There's no insurance that you're going to be able to buy to protect you, to give you big pharma medicines to help you along the way. You are going to be on your own unless you look to Jesus. I'm sorry, that's the plain truth, and that's the fact. Go search it yourself. Go ask the questions. Go pray and find out for yourself. Also from Strange Sounds. Why am I back here? Okay, glimpse into hell in Hawaii, I guess. Photo was taken by Nathan Province from a C-17 about 40 minutes from Oahu, Hawaii in July. The unusual glow is from a sun angle below the horizon plane. That's very interesting. I got to put this up here. Not too late, but there you go. Fair Use Act. Yep. I'm just using this stuff to bring out the news. Hopefully teach somebody something. Strongest cyclone ever to hit Mozambique. I'm sorry, I cannot. If it's another language, I cannot do it too well. Has made landfall in the country's north with 140-mile-per-hour winds 5 weeks after Cyclone Idai devastated its center. Yeah, Strange Sounds are a good place. I mean, you find all kinds of interesting stuff there. They got earth disasters, mystery booms, other mystery sky phenomena, strange sounds. That's how I got there in the first place. When people were hearing these strange sounds in the skies, and I believe it was probably the right time, a big uptick of these tunnels that were being built. If you've seen the machines, they're just huge. I mean, you could fit a train inside this hole boring machine. And they've got ones that actually, as it's boring into a mountain or wherever they're digging a tunnel, something inside there heats these things up so fast. Maybe it's a nuclear device, who knows, to be able to heat it up that hot in order to make smooth walls behind it. All the material's gone. All the material is used into the tunnel to melt it into like a fine cement mirror. You know what I mean? Amazing what those things can do. Okay. Investment watch. Yeah, this was actually in the mainstream media today. It was on the Rush Limbaugh show, and he has normally on there every day for about 3 hours. But in any case, there was like what was it, 1,000 people? See if I got it. Went and looked it up. Just don't know where it is at the moment. should be right next to that. Oh, got a lot of stuff here. Yeah, 1,000 people, excuse me, sorry, 1,000 immigrants, Cubans actually, escaped from a Mexico holding facility. And so now they're on the loose. And we're getting thousands per day here in the United States. Talked about that as well. 10,000 a month. I mean, they're talking millions. Unvetted, just let go, just brought in here, and 20 days later they have to release them and gone. You know, I don't know what is up with Mr. Trump, but why isn't he building this wall and making this now? Someone else said that he could build this thing, get it done in 30 days. Why is it not going on? Why do we not have the troops down there? Why do we have to have National Guard have their weapons removed from the whatever cartel did that to them and let 3 people go across the border? Why did it take that in order for him to say he's sending troops? He said he was sending troops before. Why aren't they there? I heard they were there putting up barbed wire and this, I don't know what you call it, canteen wire or whatever, you forget the name of it. That round, razor wire, barbed wire, put on top of fences. Guaranteed, whatever it is. Wake up, America. This is from Investment Watch. Yes. DHS releases 7,000 immigrants or migrants, illegal migrants, into the U.S. in 5-day period. That's more than 1,000 a day. Swamped and overloaded with a massive influx of people at the southern border of the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. Yeah, they're really making it secure for us, let me tell you. I know why they made that law, and you should know too. Homeland Security and the Patriot Act. And it's not to protect us. It's to stomp on our constitutional rights, which we don't live under anymore because of other laws that were passed by, it was Dwight Eisenhower. Maybe it was in 33. Anyway, I'm still looking into that. Got most of it already. And the Patriot Act allows our government to just go and pick people up, okay, put them in a dark hole somewhere and forget about them. They don't have to tell you why. They don't have to tell you anything. They don't have to ever let you out again. They can do anything they want. That's basically what the Patriot Act is and this other wars power type act. Anyways, they can go and if, because we're at war, since, 9/11, Bush declared, yeah, we're at war with terror. With terrorists. And there's terrorists everywhere. There's probably always going to be terrorists. So we're always going to be at war. Do you understand that? Yeah, and so our government can come in, take your freaking supplies that, you've been saving up for 3 years, come and just take them, walk away. Don't have to tell you nothing. They can just come barging into your house, kill you, lock you up, whatever. They can do whatever they want because they'll say that we're at war and or we're trying to increase the security and or the power of the United States so that we can protect the United States. Them, not you, because you are part of the United States. You are the people. But you're the ones that get stomped on. That's part of the capitalism that I do not like. Seems to be only a handful or two of people who become richer, and then the poor get poorer because all these rich people, they don't. Yeah, they go by capitalism, but it's far worse than that. I mean, they stomp on people too. They stomp on them. They get lawyers to change meanings in contracts and so on and so forth, and you can't see it coming. Yeah, it's not what this world is not. It's not daisies and rosies and puppy dogs and little kitty cats and blue ribbons at the dog show or whatever. It's not any of that. whatever you get from that is so brief. Swamped and overloaded with a massive influx of people at the southern border, and they're coming, more caravans are coming all the time. Last time I knew that there was, I don't know, good couple more thousand. We're still getting together and coming through Mexico again. Anyways, this is from End Time Headlines. Shocking photo. Okay, I've looked at it. I haven't seen. I looked at it briefly. California University teaching students unborn babies are like cancer. Yeah, they're not teaching our children. First of all, they're not teaching them American history. They're teaching them some kind of math that I don't even understand how to work out a problem with. You know, they're giving them calculators. I was never allowed a calculator when I went to school. Oh, that was a big no-no. We didn't have calculators. God bless, Hen. Hope you're doing okay, sister. All right, so yeah, so that's what our schools, that's what this Common Core thing is, man. This Common Core thing is teaching and brainwashing our young kids, and it's going to be not my grandson, but yeah, well, maybe it'll start there, and then the next generation. My oldest grandson is 18. The youngest one is probably 10. Yeah, and they're teaching these kids about socialism and how some of these things during World War II, like vaccines and everything else, are good. You know, one 12-year-old came up to me one time at Thanksgiving, my nephew, and just tried to explain to me why vaccines were good. Well, why wouldn't you want to get the polio vaccine, so you don't get polio? And I'm trying to explain to them that, first of all, we eradicated polio or tuberculosis, whatever it was, here a long time ago. Yes, we all got vaccinated then, and then it disappeared. And it only starts showing up again when the southern border, when Obama opened the border and gave direction to other countries to invade our southern border. That's when it started coming back, because other countries did not do what we were doing. So this photo circulating on Twitter and then Facebook that featured an image purportedly taken by a student at the UC San Diego shows a snapshot of a disturbing and dehumanizing lesson being taught in class. Parallels between fetuses and cancers. Jaron's slide is tilted. It features images of an unborn baby, a fetus, and a few bullet point descriptions. The fetus, a legitimate parasite, the first line reads, in a blatant attempt to liken the growing baby to a grown cancer. It rapidly grows just like cancer as well, the slide explains. The baby, just like cancer, invades the body. According to the classroom material, students can be seen in the picture diligently taking notes. Incredibly, the image of the unborn baby is one that clearly shows a human in the early stages of the development. Using the phrase fetus is a common tactic used by pro-choice proponents in an attempt to dehumanize the unborn. And so darkness continues to fall. Now our young children are being brainwashed. I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, it does matter. I mean, it's murder. It's just out and out murder. But the point I'm trying to make here is that it doesn't matter, because all those children will be infertile. The men will be sterile. The women will not be able to give birth. They'll have miscarriages. I mean, my own daughter, my youngest, had 2 miscarriages already. These are the things these poisons that whoever is putting into our system, these chemtrails that are raining down on us, that we're breathing in, fluoride and the other chemicals that supposedly can't get out of the filtering process. we're ingesting. And who knows what else they're putting in these things, in this system. And then on top of that, I mean, the topsoil, our soil is being poisoned as well. I mean, look at all the stuff that they're doing with this fracking and all that excess waste, the chemicals. It's just being flushed into our rivers. Our rivers, I think I heard 70% of our rivers are just polluted now. They're not good anymore. They've got poisons in them. That's why the Indians over there I forget where they were last year, but they were protesting this. This is just before Trump came into office, I believe. The pipeline that was supposed to come down from Canada, they didn't want it there. And they had their reasons. Well, that's the land they had to live on. They need that river. And they already ruined one other one. All this poison in this excess waste fracking. Well, this is from Charisma News. There's an evil so great America may never recover. So approximately 800,000 children go missing in the United States every year. 800,000 children every year. Imagine how many abortions are performed every year. I know how much have been purported over the past few years, and that's like 6 million. How many, and this is just children, 800,000. It's almost 1 million. How many babies are being killed? Who knows? 1 million per year? How many go missing? Those are the ones, Anyway, so many of them end up in the hands of sex traffickers. We were talking about this. Big news. People are supposedly busting all kinds of sex trafficking rings. Yet the problem continues, and we keep hearing from all these institutions, the Vatican, the Catholic Church and all the priests, 70% of them are all pedophiles. Boy Scouts of America, accusations of thousands of kids being used and abused. Many other places too. I don't know how do we all make it? Is this something that we have to endure as a fiery trial in our young age and have to live with that the rest of our lives? I don't think so. So anyways, after you read what I have to share with you, I guarantee you will start watching your children much more carefully when they are in public. Earlier today, I received an email from one of my readers encouraging me to check out John W. Whitehead's latest article. So I did. And I was absolutely horrified of what I learned. In America today, authorities believe that the number of underage sex workers is somewhere between 100,000 and 150,000. Those children are purchased millions of times a year and has become a $9.5 billion industry. Every major city in the U.S. has a problem with child slavery, but there are certain areas, such as Washington, D.C., that have become central hubs. This is a major national crisis, and yet for some reason, very few members of Congress are making this issue a priority. True. Very true. You know what we hear? We hear of Trump. Trump succeeding in this, succeeding in that. We hear of the Democrats trying to go after Trump because they're so angry that Hillary didn't win. And so they all have been under this guise, the blinders have been put on them and they've let them go, and they're just walking around, spinning around in circles with their arms stretched out, trying to feel the way around. And in the meantime, their mouths are going. They're speaking vile and demonic things. They're just, come on, man. AOC, Green New Deal, We know what that is. That's just another guise of socialism. And we're going to be so outraged with that is we're going to accept something, smaller, easier. Anyways, people, this is an article, and I haven't read it. I wasn't planning on reading the whole thing. It is. I will leave the link. It's on Charisma News. This is a problem every day of our lives. We're finding out more and more. More people are being arrested. Supposedly. It just goes into, a lot of details, like the age of these children. 9 years old, 13 years old. And I can start talking to you about the children and what's happening to these children, not just here, all over the world, especially this, sex trafficking trade. It's everywhere. And a lot of our leaders, the powers that be, are involved. Our priests, our pastors, and many others are all part of it. Hear about, a story like this a couple of weeks. No, I want to go on. I'll leave that for you. And this is what I'm talking about. This is from Now the End Begins. But this stuff is okay, right? They're talking about taking the 503 or 5013, whatever that is, away from other ministries and churches. But they will give it to these people, the power of darkness. The Satanic Temple is now officially recognized as a church with tax exempt status from the Internal Revenue Service. There you go, people. We're so close, right? I mean, I think the only thing that we're really waiting for is the giants. I think the giants are already here. I think the fallen angels are the ones that started the giants. And they're here. And we're also going through, these other things, this manipulation, this CRISPR type stuff, the DNA manipulation. Now we're going to create babies the way we, with the right color eyes and hair and other things. And then they're going to keep experimenting, like putting human brain cells into monkeys to see what they'll do. I mean, what about the stuff that they're not telling you about? They're not going to tell you that they're testing humans with other things and other animals, just like they did back in Noah's day. So be aware that time is so very, very short. If you're heading down the wrong path, I think it's really time that you straighten yourself up. Unless you want to go to hell for the rest of your life, live on Earth again. And I think Earth is a testing ground, and we that make the right decisions and answer the right, calls and go on the right path, because the path, that's the right path, is very narrow. People prefer to have temporary euphorias, with this drug or that drug, or go to these services and see what that will bring for you. That road is very wide and it all leads to hell. And if you want to live, what is his name? Dave Wilkerson came out with a sermon, and he talked about what he thought hell was like, and kind of sticking in my head, I guess. The hell is going to be, you're going to go through life, and you're going to go through the same patterns that you lived already. You say sometimes maybe, yeah, you remember the deja vu thing? And I wonder about these people who claim that that's deja vu. Well, maybe that it really did happen. Maybe you are in hell already. Maybe you're reliving that moment over and over and over again. And you're not going to be able to get out of it. You're going to go through, but you are going to realize that, yep, I've died and I've gone to hell. And you just get ready to repent and yell out, Jesus. And before you can do that, a fraction of a second, and then you're gone again. You're from the beginning and you're reliving it. Why do you think they came out with the Groundhog's Day and stuff like that? Hollywood. Just, makes you think a little bit, that's all. So, yeah, we're really in trouble when they start giving these people, places and actually calling them churches, giving them tax exempt status to worship Satan. We're in a very bad place. You know what? I have all kinds of news here, but I don't feel like going on with it. I don't want to go through all that news. We'll be here quite a bit longer. I do want to mention just a couple little things here that I found, and then that'll be it. So this was the one about the 1,300 Cubans escaping immigration in Mexico. So that's that one. And these are some of our prospective Democratic want-to-be's, President want-to-be's, okay? Warren's $640 billion student loan forgiveness price tag. Okay, we already know about AOC's Green New Deal that already failed a vote. If you realize that, it did fail a vote. Nobody voted for it. Nobody. And this one, Pelosi, not that she's running for president, but this is another Democrat. By Halloween, we intend to have won the election for next year. This is how delusional these people are. Yeah, and China and Russia, we got to watch what they're doing now because Russia is over there with North Korea. They're being buddy-buddy, and they've joined an anti-American settlement agreement, some type of thing. And then we got China and Russia and other countries very upset over the sanctions that U.S. put on oil over there and Iran's oil. That's not going to bode well. It's not just Iran, it's all these other countries. But I'm sure that they're being offered our oil, right? You can buy oil from the U.S. now that we're an exporter. Yeah, see where that's going? Here, designer nanobots changing humanity. Okay? From the Blaze. So, I don't know. I didn't read this article. I don't know what it's all about, but I do know something over there. Oh, I still have the music on? I always do something stupid. Oh, boy. Yeah, sorry. It will be okay when the video comes out because I can't hear the music. Only Mixler can. I'm sorry about that, Hen. I always forget about something. What an idiot I am, man. Anyway, oh well, what you gonna do, right? I'm just you're there sitting there, and listening to all that. Because once I start doing the tabs up top and the stories go through, the tab for the Mixler page for the chat goes to the left, and I can't see it. I got to figure out a way I can just keep that there because I'm sure you warned me. Oh, how long ago was that? Anyway, it doesn't. Yeah, 35 minutes ago you warned me. Oh well. Sorry. Yeah. Well, I hope it's off now. I turned it down. I didn't see it was on. Sometimes I wonder about myself, Oh well. Oh, let's see. Yeah, okay. So now that you've had music thing and couldn't hear anything, I might as well just do what I said and cut this thing short. Vietnam demands Monsanto pay victims of Agent Orange for cancer and birth defects. Okay, we already know that Monsanto's, is a big contributor of cancer in many ways, and there's some other Roger or something that sells these chemicals too. And yeah, I mean, they don't care. They're just paying out money now to a bunch of people, records amounts of money, and they'll pay to those people too. They've already done their job. They've killed these people. They've given them cancer. They've done what they were supposed to do. Yeah. Agenda 2030, people. I'm sorry. Agenda 2030 and the Georgia Guidestones. You don't know what the Georgia Guidestones? I've been asking a lot of people, especially around my family. You know what the Georgia Guidestone? Yeah, do you know what chem spraying is? Do you ever look up? Look up. Besides your redemption's drawing nigh, look up. Look at that plane. You think that's normal? Look at the other plane that's higher up, okay? That only has a short amount of trail on it, dissipated because it's up so high. Come on. Sometimes, people just are very comfortable and happy in their own little bubble. And if that's what does it for them, I mean, who am I to keep, ramming things down their throat? I mean, the Lord said, tell them once, explain it to them. If they deny it, then wipe your dust off your feet and go about your way. Because the Lord actually is the one who does the calling. We're just there to offer them, moral support. Our commission. Go out there and spread the word and let them, anyways. With that, that's it. That's quite enough. So yeah, God bless everyone. It's Friday, or the weekend. I'm not sure what I'm doing on the weekend. I do need to paint this office. Have you seen it, man? It's just disgusting. It's got horror stains all over the wall and ceilings, and I am I'm a hoarder with notes and papers and all over the place. Better off with just getting a shovel and dumpster, putting it in there. So that's about the only thing I can think of that I might be doing besides mowing my lawn. So I hope to have something out there, maybe play some sermons or play some more news clips. I don't know yet. Requests are always welcomed. If you have songs that you want to listen to, drop them in the comment box, put it in Mixler, whatever. So with that all said, everyone, the times that we're in are just scary and dark, and they don't have to be. I mean, ever since I found, or Jesus found me, and I was awake enough to say yes, he's changed my life. So I don't fear the things that this, Satan wants you to fear. Because all he wants to do is to kill, steal, and destroy you. He doesn't like you. He doesn't like any humans. So all I can say is, search out your brothers and sisters and talk with them. We're here to lift each other up, hopefully, and not offend each other. I know sometimes that can't be helped, but that's how we grow in our walk. Learning not to offend, learning not to take offense, at least not for a long time. I always say to everybody, yeah, I take offense for about 5 seconds, and I pray, and then it's all over. Yeah, because it's that first initial reaction, and best not to speak during those first 5 seconds. That's all I can say. Anyways, God bless everyone. Keep your family close to you. Keep in touch with your friends, your loved ones. Make sure that you can get in touch with them if communications go down. Make sure you know where they are in case communications go down and you can get to them. Keep them close. Things are only going to get worse. And that means that he is almost here. That means that we are almost out of here. It means we can go home, live in true peace and paradise. God bless everyone. Peace out.